always looked after me, brother. When we were children, you always had my back. You took all the blame when our father caught us doing things that drove him mad. Through the years I could lean on you when I messed up. I'd call you in the night, but I broke too many promises and we split up. Though I still need ya, you gotta save me now. I'm slipping so far down, it's only you I trust to set me free from this. I don't know how I got into this awful spot. I don't know where it ends, so I could use your helping hand tonight. I wanna say that I'm sorry, I got sidetracked and I left you in the cold. I've seen your side of the story, I felt the drawback. My mistake took its toll. Finally, I have realized I was dead wrong. I wasn't thinking straight. No more lies, and from here on out I'll be better, 'cause I still need ya. You gotta save me now. I'm slipping so far down, it's only you I trust to set me free from this. I don't know how I got into this awful spot. I don't know where it ends, so I could use your helping hand tonight. I could use your helping hand tonight. I could use your helping hand tonight.
From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge. Bearded BP, 100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone, 'cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it and that another could. Never underestimate the power of brotherhood. Every bro, every chapter, every caption. Heart of a villain, bro. Lights, camera, action, 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 action. Let's go. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 107 of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the Bearded Villains Worldwide Brotherhood and the lives they are changing all over this here world we live in. Happy Friday night again, back again on a Friday night, and much to no one's probably surprise, later than expected. ever since episode 100, the schedule has been all over the clock and all over the calendar for this here show. And I apologize for that. I know it keeps everybody on their toes, keeps me on my toes too, because it just so happens that when you plan for one thing, something else comes up. And ever since I got off of the standard schedule that I had been on for over, well, almost 2 years, you know how things happen. So I do apologize. We're much later here tonight than I expected to be here, but I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be talking in just a few minutes with the co-captain of the Southern Indiana Villains, Chris Heil. We're going to be talking about Battle of the Beards 2021. That's coming up next weekend. This weekend right now, if you remember last weekend, we spoke to our brothers with the Slugger City Bearded Villains, and they have their Slugger City Bash this weekend. They're probably having some adult beverages and chilling out, having a good time right now as we speak. This is meet and greet night usually, so they're probably hanging out and doing that thing right now. Tomorrow is a big event, and I will be down there. I'm making the drive tomorrow morning to go down and hang with the boys down there, Slugger City, have a good time. Hopefully raise a lot of money for a really good cause. So that is my plans for the weekend. So this is episode 107, guys. Let's say hi to some of the people who have decided to hang out with us tonight when they didn't even know if we'd be here, right? Mars was hanging out. Mars was looking for us early. He kept reaching out to me like, what's going on? Where are we? So I appreciate him. Mars, I appreciate you hanging out with us, and keeping alert and trying to stay on task with the schedule and keeping me, on task as well. So I do appreciate that. K-Mac with ENC's in the house. Of course, Wayne, the One Feather is here. How is everybody doing tonight? He says, nice tat, brother. I'm not sure which one you're referring to, if that's me or somebody else, Mr. ENC, but thank you. Oh, I think he says, thank you, brother. Oh, probably talking to One Feather there. So, yeah, some nice compliments on the pre-show music. I do appreciate that. I went through and after episode 100, went back through and said I have to try and do something a little bit different, and it was more epic movie theme stuff, as you guys know for the most part, for the first 100 or so episodes. And I wanted to bring in some stuff a little bit different that meant a little something more. Bring in some music that had some words and some meaning to it. So good stuff. Chris is hanging out with us, of course. He's going to be joining us in just a few minutes. Great to see him. I think I saw Mr. Bearded Irishman popping in with his little eyeballs, checking in with us. Rob on the road. Robba, R-O-B-B. Rob is hanging out with us all the way over in the UK. Hopefully things are doing well for you, sir. Haven't spoken with you for a bit. Hopefully everything is going well for you. Chilling in Tennessee. All right. XJD more X. I wish I knew. I can't make out your picture there. Sitting in a crane doing nada. Hey, well, that's all right. That's all right. Be careful now. Be careful. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in and spending some time with you here on Friday night. It's we're in that weird phase right now where we've got some different things going on. We've got some events going on that have become annual traditions, right? And we're gonna be speaking to those, of course, as I always do. Anytime that we have our annual events that come in, anytime we do that, it's always nice to see. We always like to publicize and talk about the different things that our guys are doing and the different chapters are doing. And of course, we do that every year. So some of these annual events that we see, we're going to start to see these popping up again, as we always have with, again, like Battle of the Beards here. We've got some other events. We've got Beards Away, and we're going to get into the calendar of events, obviously, here in just a little bit. I want to take a minute out here before we kick too far into this episode because something came across our boards again today, and again, we really hate to see this kind of stuff, but I want to share. I want to take a few seconds out to say, to give some condolences to our North Texas brothers. They lost a brother. Well, we all lost a brother, but they lost a chapter brother, and Brad Hollywood Rogers. He unfortunately passed away, and it was a situation where there was some medical issues, and it looked like he was going to be okay, and there were some complications to the medical issues, and he ended up passing away. We got the notice we saw in chat this morning about this, and I know that this is going to be something that's it's never something that you plan for. It's never something that you count on, or and you never want to happen, and you never imagine it happening within your chapter. So I wanted to take a second out and say our thoughts and prayers are with Brad, his family, your brothers, the North Texas guys. I know you guys, this is a busy time for you guys. You just announced the North Texas chapter is going to be hosting LSV, so kind of riding a high from that. So it's never a good time, but seems like a rough time right now to have something like this happen to the family down in North Texas. So again, our thoughts and prayers to you, to Brad Hollywood Rogers' family, friends, loved ones, and brothers there in North Texas. Okay, guys, thanks for giving me a few seconds there to speak to that. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our guest for this evening. We're going to be talking to Chris Heil from the Southern Indiana Bearded Villains, and he's here to talk to us today about an event that has become a staple in the Bearded Villain community, and especially if you're anywhere near Southern Indiana. Chris, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good, BP. How you doing?
Oh, buddy, I'm doing great. I'm excited. Well, this is one of those events that, of course, I'm always excited for because I was there the first one, and every one of them since then. To see how the Southern Indiana Villains have grown this event every year, it's amazing. It's fun to watch, fun to see. It gets bigger and bigger every year, and it's not always necessarily in numbers, just in the way that it's handled. And you guys do a great job with it. So I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about that tonight.
I appreciate it.
So
before we start, I just want to say Northern Indiana Villains, Ezra Crow's Halloween Havoc was amazing. That was great for you guys' first comp.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. You never know. You never know what to expect. You kind of watch other chapters, different events that you go to, and you make mental notes, and you say, I'm going to remember to do this right. I like how they did this. We need to make sure we do this and this. And then when it comes time for it, you realize, oh crap, we forgot to do this. We forgot to do that. So we're in that after action briefing phase right now.
Yeah.
Where we have to, where we're making notes to try and improve on and make it bigger, better than ever next year. So for the return of Ezra Crow, but we're looking forward to it. So thank you very much. Let's talk for a second, man. This year you're moving. This is at a different event location than it was last year, right?
Yes. Last year it was hosted by by my American Legion post in Newburgh, and they get booked so often, so quickly. This year we reached out to the VFW post 1114 in Evansville, Indiana, and I happen to know a few people over there, and they had it open. They were able to donate us the room, which this is typically an $800 rental. This is a 650 person capacity room with a stage, everything already set, our own bar. And the president of Rolling Thunder, Jerry Blake, who happened to be my first sergeant when I joined the Army, got Rolling Thunder to move their event so we could have it that night. So that was pretty amazing.
Oh, wow.
And we're excited.
Wow. Okay, so I'm having a hard time. Of course, I haven't seen the venue. I haven't seen that VFW compared to where we had last year. Last year, I got to say, I was really impressed. Just walking up on that building at your post, it's a very impressive building. Considering a lot of other, it seems like a lot of the VFW posts you go to in different parts of the country are basically just like a in some cases like almost like a aluminum sided shack or a one-story home. It seems like that was a substantial structure. It's very impressive. That's got to be cool, kind of cool to have your post be that post that you represent with.
Yeah, and well, this particular VFW, both Popeye and I are members there, and at one time it was the biggest VFW post in Indiana.
Wow. Okay, so you said it's is it larger than the one you said we had last year at your place?
Yes, quite a bit.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it from the outside, but
okay. All right. So 650 people. Let's just pack the place, right?
yeah,
Let's pack it.
Everybody's welcome.
All right. So I know you guys have done some releasing of some information. We'll get into what I normally like to ask as far as if you have any sneak peeks or surprises that you can announce if you want to beforehand. But tell us a little bit about. Just remind us who the event supports charity wise, and talk a little bit about like what the plan for the weekend is from the time everybody kind of gets into town on Friday.
All right. Typically, our the last few Battle of the Beards, we've supported Echo Housing, which is a local charity that supports homeless veterans. The past couple of years, Gresham House has benefited, and Gresham House houses 6 veterans that can go back to work. They get them up, they get them on their feet, they help them find a job, find a car, things like that. This year we're supporting, and we contacted Echo Housing, and where they need the most support is a place called Lucas Place 2. It is basically an apartment complex, well, a suite complex, that houses homeless veterans that are not going to have that chance to get there, are on disability. They get help as far as counseling, VA disability support, things of that nature. And we viewed it last weekend or weekend before last, and we were basically told that most of the guys that stay here are older and they will be there until they go to hospice care. So we're just trying to improve the quality of life for these guys. Any kind of little projects that we can fund, we can help with, would help these guys out immensely.
Yeah. Very so. Okay, so this is an actual facility is this a facility that helps them that acts like as an apartment complex, like you said, or is it like is there care involved with them as well? Or are these people that care for themselves, but still it just provides them a place to live?
For the most part, they care for themselves and each other, but they do have a staff in-house or on call that anything they need help with, legal support, like I said, rides to the VA, or shoot, sometimes they even shuttle them to the VFW so they can just go out and have a drink or things of that nature. They've got a staff there to support them and to help them with anything they need. They try to counsel them and keep them from getting scammed by, you know, random scam calls and everything that says, "Oh, we can help you with this and that." And
Yeah.
they try to keep these guys safe from all of that.
Okay. Awesome.
But it's a housing first situation, so that first and foremost, it's a safe place for them to live and hopefully thrive.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Now, is this a place that I know in years past we had complications? I mean, obviously, one year was COVID, but and the previous year, I think there was some holdup that we weren't able to actually tour the Gresham House. But is this someplace that's open where people can kind of see where the proceeds are going to be going to down the road if they're curious about that, or is it kind of private property? We don't want to try and impose on these guys' lives, which I would completely understand.
Feasibly, we could be able to set up a tour.
Okay.
We'd have to get a hold of Brittany, the housing manager there, but yeah, she set up a time with us. Typically, they don't do it on the weekends, but she was able to set up a time with some of our chapter brothers to view. And we also got a tour of Gresham House to see what the proceeds from last year provided, which was an entirely new bathroom where 6 veterans and 4 employees were sharing the same bathroom and nobody had any privacy. And they were able to build another bathroom and a kitchenette for the guys that lived there so that they didn't have to share constant.
Yeah. Well, now that I mean, as a veteran yourself,
Mhm,
and having so many veterans, you guys, for the size of chapter that you are, it seems like you guys have a bunch, and I know that and you have close ties to a lot of the veteran community there. What's that
mhm.
like? How does that make you feel coming from being a veteran, to know that you are now in a spot in your life where you are able to be a part of an organization that can further help other veterans? I mean, I know it's because it's a very unique thing to be a veteran. Um, how does that feel for you?
It's humbling and absolutely amazing at the same time. Uh, it it warms my heart. It makes me feel so thankful, and that's one thing I love about BV is I've not had this brotherhood since I've been in the military, and this even at sometimes goes above and beyond even the camaraderie I had in the military. And the fact that we've got guys that have never served in the military and still step up and understand is absolutely stellar.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's weird how, and this is kind of off topic, off of Battle of the Beards, but I mean, we're kind of going there a little bit. It's strange to me how you look back at times in generations, that we have, and at one point in our history, there was a generation that what they referred to as the greatest generation, and it was expected, almost assumed, that men would go into the military, and it was your duty. You were expected to kind of do that, and then a generation later, it wasn't so much assumed. It was in some ways looked down upon, and then and in some realms. And what's really crazy to me to see is that it's not only generationally, but it's even geographically, um, different, no, depending on where you lived and the circumstances where you live throughout the country, when you grow up. Because there's I remember specifically, even here in Indiana, growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, going through that high school period. And
Hmm.
it was almost that was a time period, I know, at least in the area where I lived, where if you went into the military, it was almost like, oh, you couldn't get into college. And I hate that that was the way that it appeared there. Whereas other places, it was it was it was celebrated. It was celebrated as, this is such a cool life choice for you. And I just think it's and then you look back on history and you look back at the way that our veterans were treated coming back from Vietnam, and knowing that that's my father's generation,
Mhm.
and to see how our own citizens treated that, and then you fast forward it to, it still seems like we should do more, but we're doing so much better, I think, as a country for our veterans, and respecting and seeing for what the sacrifices that they've made.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy that I live in a time right now that that's the case, because I can't imagine living in a time in that early 70s where you frowned upon the sacrifices of your servicemen.
Hmm.
I just can't get over that. I know I'm bringing
I
everything
agree.
down. I'm bringing everything down, and I'm not really going anywhere with that, but it's, I just, so much respect, for all of you guys that made that commitment at some point in your life. And so, I, for one, like you said, I'll always be there to support, the sacrifices and efforts that you guys had, for sure. So let's,
So on that note,
okay.
speaking Battle of the Beards,
Yeah.
teaser number one, it was brought to my attention, since we are going to be doing this comp for a veterans charity, and we will be in a house of veterans with hopefully quite a few veterans present. I was told that for the first time, we are going to open the competition with the national anthem, and we have a very special guest coming to sing it for us. I'm
Oh,
not
how
going to say
cool.
who.
How cool is that? I I think you're overestimating the very special nature of the guest, but but yeah, I think that I think that's a really cool thing that you're doing though for that, being that
Oh,
it's
love it.
that it's charity driven and veteran driven for sure. That's an awesome thing. Well, can you talk for a second about, the judges that you guys have? Because I've watched as you guys have announced the different judges that you've announced, and it's such a
Hmm.
wide variety of judges. I love it. I love it. It's not just, beard guy 1, beard guy 2, beard. It's, and you got you got
Yeah.
veterans. It's really really cool. So can
Mhm.
you talk about just this cool variety of judges that you guys have that are going to be judging everybody on Saturday?
Oh, yeah. Well, to start off with, we always try to get judges from all around the bearding community, not just from BV.
Right.
Um, and the majority of our judges we try to get that have competed on the national stage. And this year we've got, like you said, a very good variety. We've got, if you're around the bearded community and competitions, you've probably heard the name Barefoot Brains. He's going to be one of our judges. Very just colorful guy, amazing. We've got the Ginger Ninja. Um, for for the villainette category, we've got Jess Reynolds, who is a nationally ranked villainette. She's the first lady of the Big Ben Beardsmen out of Ohio, and those guys always show up and show out for us and show support. Our fourth judge, as was announced on Instagram, is Master Sergeant Josh Ashby, personal friend of several of us in the club, and he loves anything to do with beards. He's just serving in the Air National Guard. He can't grow one right now, but
Understandable.
he wanted to be a part. So we said, hey, why not come be a judge? And he was absolutely excited.
Yeah.
And we may or may not have one more judge. We always try to get. a barber from the local community, specifically the parlor out of Evansville, where most of us get cut. We haven't got confirmation if one of those will be there, but they may. So we may have a fifth judge out of the parlor.
Great. Yeah, I think it's awesome that you are incorporating, you know, I love the idea, and I wish everybody could do that, where they incorporate when it's a BV event specifically, you incorporate outside BV judges, just because it's a different. We tend to not take things quite as seriously on the judging end, or about the competition end, and the beard and mustache clubs that are out there that do such a great job of focusing in on competitions, and they do a very good job of that. And to have people that are part of those organizations be a part of your judging panel, and I know, when we had ours, we had Mark, and for Mark Burns,
Lampshade.
Lampshade, and it's a neat thing, because for everything that they see and that they've been around, you're getting a lot of experience in there, and it's not just and what's really cool, I think too, one of the hidden positives to it is that these guys, because they have so much experience, when you get one or two of the guys that come up and it may be their first time coming up on stage and being a part of a competition, they already feel a little bit nervous about it anyway. And and chances are, so many of them, like we did the first time, you're second guessing, the quality of your beard or whatever. But to hear those guys then say, no, when they're judging them, and no, you've got a good beard, stay with it, to give them a little encouragement, and it goes a long, long way to having some confidence to want to come back on that stage again. So I know that's a huge thing. So very, very cool. Very cool that you have such a huge variety of people there. So great to see.
That's always been one of the points, is having those kinds of judges, just so we're not just inviting BV, that we're anybody in the bearding community, you are welcome. Please come out. Notice the judges aren't all BV. We've got some of your folks in here too. Come on in.
Yes. Yeah. We do. I think we need to make we need to do a better job, I think, of we recognize that we are our own club, and that's one thing. But I like where you guys are headed. I like where that's kind of why we decided with our event too. We wanted to kind of make sure that you can't necessarily grab everybody, because there's always some other event somewhere else going on. But you want to at least make sure that the beard clubs that are out there know you're welcome to come to our thing too. This is not just for BV. And it's nice to see a focused effort to do that, because I think for the last couple of years, so often it seems like it's just kind of like, well, if they hear about it, they hear about it. But we like the fact that there's so many BV guys, I like to see the variety. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun. Well, so, okay, we've got the judges. We know what we're raising money for. And I already know from being a part of the chat room for a bit, I know it's there. It may take you guys half the night just to get through the auction and raffle stuff alone, because I've seen lists and lists and lists of this stuff that's going to be possibly sitting there. So that always looks good. That's always a fun part of these events, to see the secret surprises that may pop up to, oh my gosh, look at this thing that's available. I didn't know this was going to be available. So we should probably remind everybody to bring your pocketbooks, bring your checkbooks, make sure your Visa card is open. Are you guys going to be accepting credit cards by chance? We should probably let people know that.
That I'm not for sure. I know we will be accepting at least Cash App. We had to part ways with PayPal because they froze everything like that. But we do accept Cash App. There will be an ATM on site if need be.
Okay, maybe we need to send people that way. But You never know. If anybody has one of those card readers you can use for the chapter, it's always a great way to come back to people and they're like,
like
"Oh,
a square.
I only have so much cash, and I can't raise my bid." Oh, you can't? Well, guess what? We can take credit cards. So go ahead and bump up
Right.
another few $100s. Never hurts. Never hurts. But so we know where we're going, we know who we're supporting, and we know judges. What's the vibe for the whole weekend now? Anybody that's not a part of the line chat, we'll remind them that you have a week, so you can get a hold of anybody from Southern Indiana Villains to jump into the chat, and all the information is in there. But for those that aren't aware, what's the plan of attack? You got a Friday night meet and greet. You got the event Saturday. What's the times and locations for everything? I know we already talked a little bit about the location for the main event.
Yeah, Friday night, the meet and greet will be the same as last year. It'll be at Chaser's Bar and Grill on Franklin Street in Evansville. Chris, the owner, was gracious enough to donate the space for us again this year. We will be upstairs like last year, but this year he's expanded about another 1,800 feet.
Oh, geez.
So we have an entire bar to ourselves upstairs from 5 to 8. There's room for cornhole. There's a dart range. There is an old school game arcade. They've got the original Ninja Turtles arcade game up there, among many others.
This is all in that one space?
Yes.
Wow.
That one wall that was there is opened up into a garage door, and now there's another space, and we'll have that to ourselves from 5 to 8.
Wow. Awesome. All right. Very cool. Very cool. So the meet and greets at Chasers, and then is there anything going on in the first part of the day on Saturday then?
If everybody wants to do a flag shoot, I haven't got any confirmation on the time yet, but most likely it'll be on the Evansville Riverfront Saturday, probably noonish, I would assume.
Okay.
And we've got the Four Freedoms monuments down there, and there's plenty of picturesque areas downtown Evansville to do any kind of flag shoots and stuff like that. And then registration at the comp will start at, I think it's either 5 or 6. I'd have to look on the flyer.
Okay. All right. Man, I'm looking forward to it.
And where the competition's at is right around the corner from Franklin Street. It's within walking distance of Chasers, and that is one long strip of just nothing but cool places and entertainment. You got Damsel's Brewery right across the street, which is a local craft brewery, and then any number of bars, restaurants all along Franklin Street, and all of that will be within walking distance of the comp.
Ah, okay. So there's some planning involved there. There's you did a good thing there. So once the comp is over, just got to walk down the street and hit up any one of the number of places that's available.
Right.
Okay.
Just to name a few, Gersthaus, which is an absolutely great German restaurant and brew pub. There's 2 or 3 different Italian restaurants. There's a breakfast place down there. Like I said, several bars having just about anything you want. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Southern Indiana in Evansville is the place to be next weekend. If you are not a part of the line chat, so you can get all the details, hit up any one of the guys from the Southern Indiana Villains, and they will set you straight, get you squared away, get you in the chat, or hit me up or anybody else that you think might be going to it because, well, the chat's out there, so anybody can get you in. And, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, Chris, thanks so much for taking some time out on a Friday night. I know this was kind of last minute, partly my fault because I didn't realize I've just been so busy myself. I didn't realize, holy crap, I haven't even had a chance to talk to you guys about your event yet, and it's next week. So Chris was nice enough to jump on with me last minute here, and so I'm thankful for that. Have a great rest of your night, rest of your weekend, and oh, look at that picture. That is a thing of beauty. Wow, that was a little sneak peek. Those of you who weren't watching, right then you guys missed out. So, because you won't be able to rewind it right now. So awesome to see. I appreciate that sneak peek. That was beautiful. So I look forward to it. 1 week from tonight, we'll be in Evansville at Chasers hanging out. Having a good time. Looking forward to the weekend.
Heck yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Slugger City.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow then. Take care. Thanks so much for being here. And again, I'll see you tomorrow, but I'll see you again next weekend for Battle of the Beards 2021 next week. Thanks. All right, guys. And we are out with Chris. Thanks so much to Chris. Like I said, this was one of those weird weeks, guys, where I was like, hey, just looking at my schedule there and realizing I haven't talked to anybody from Southern Indiana yet about Battle of the Beards. So as you know, I like to try and do that about a week or two out from each event. So to the best of my ability. So again, looking forward to Slugger City tomorrow and Battle of the Beards the following week. If you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and coarse hairs, but make your beard soft and smell amazing, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran-owned and made for today's beards, Pulpo beard products combine the best beard ingredients on the market with incredible customer service to ensure your happiness. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo beardoils.com, and use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. Okay. Guys, I'm looking up at my comments section here, and I see that Wayne One Feather said that they're doing their 6-year anniversary next weekend. Bring that up here in the show here. One Feather says doing 6-year anniversary next weekend. So Wayne, I'm wondering, is that is that an actual event that you guys are doing? Or if so, I apologize because I must have missed it. And I'd love to share with the world what it is. So hit me up and I'll see if I can get something spread out there for the world to see, if in case that's the facts. But yeah. So, all right, let's do this, guys. Let's slide into our calendar of events and see where this takes us. We've got any breaking news or anything like that pops up. This weekend, Slugger City Bash, hosted by the Slugger City Bearded Villains. Louisville, Kentucky's where it's at. I'm going to be there tomorrow. If you're anywhere nearby, come down, over, out, wherever it is next to you. Louisville, Kentucky, Slugger City Bash. It's going to be a good time. Those of you who are already there, hopefully you're being safe and being smart about your actions tonight. Next weekend, November 12th through the 14th, we've got 2 different things going on. Battle of the Beards 2021, Bearded Villains Southern Indiana, hosted by the Southern Indiana Villains in Evansville, Indiana. And then we've also got November 13th, Beards Away, hosted by the Virginia Bearded Villains. It's the 6th anniversary in beard competition at Bunker Brew Pub. Hope to have those guys on next week so I can tease a little bit about Beards Away, hosted by the Virginia Bearded Villains, 6th anniversary beard competition at Bunker Brew Pub. So you got 2 chances next weekend in Evansville, Indiana, or if you're in Virginia, hit up the boys from Virginia. The next weekend, 2 weekends after that, November 26th to the 28th is the Cajun Beard Bash, hosted by the Louisiana Bearded Villains. It is undoubtedly, as they say, Louisiana's largest beard comp. They have vendors, prizes, food, music, all sorts of good stuff there. Hosted by the Bearded Villains of Louisiana, the Cajun Beard Bash, November 26th to the 28th. Then we slide into December. I know that I have it on the calendar that's flying across the screen right now. I don't mention it right now only because if you don't already have tickets, you're missing out because the tickets already sold out for it. But that was Beardingham, hosted by the Central England chapter, the Bearded Villains Central England. If you didn't already get tickets for it, they sold them out. So I would normally say, hey, get over there if you're anywhere near Central England and get over there and get to that. It'd be a good time. But that was December 3rd through the 5th. That was Beardingham 2021. So, but they sold out. So I hope the Central England boys have a great time with that. That's going to be awesome. Getting into 2022, January 8th, 2022, the Smoky Mountain Bearded Villains are back with another beard comp. It's celebrating their 4-year anniversary with a beard comp in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, benefiting Hinderless 22. Benefits Hinderless 22. That's the Smoky Mountain 4-year anniversary in beard comp in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, January 8th. I also know that we have the LSV 5 that was just announced, I believe, in the last 2 weeks, I think. LSV 5 coming back to hosted by the North Texas brothers. And I believe that was the last weekend of February, the 25th to the 27th, if I'm not mistaken. It was sometime in that time period. My scrolling wheel is a little bit slow on me right now. I could tell you otherwise when it comes across the screen here. I don't have it on my iPad. I apologize for that. But yeah, so LSV 5 was listed February 25th to the 27th. I was right. Look at that. I got a steel trap of a memory. That's the return to North Texas. June 10th through the 12th is the West Coast meet in Seattle, Washington, hosted by the Eastern and Western Washington Bearded Villain chapters as well. And then also, I don't have a whole lot of details on it. I just know it's the first week of May, which is Beardo de Mayo, hosted by the Bearded Villains in Ohio. Hopefully we'll get some more information on that. We're going to start seeing those 2022 dates start to fill up quickly. So go out, get a calendar, get your phone, whatever you want to do. Make sure that you're starting to get your calendar dates very organized, so that you don't miss out. Plan ahead and stay tuned to this here program because I'm going to keep you posted when I hear about things. But this is the time. We're in November, and this is the time when you want to be paying close attention to what your availability is to go to Bearded Villain events all over. It hopefully means that we're going to start to see some borders that have been closed start to open up and make it a little bit easier to travel. That would be awesome. I would love to see the return of some of those events up in Canada, so that we can swing up there into Canada and get to those. I've been waiting to get up there to see our brothers up there, get some other places overseas, down south, wherever we need to go. So, got a further update from Wayne. November 13th is Michigan Bearded Villains 6-year anniversary. All right. Okay. I don't know. Are you having a specific event for that? I apologize. I won't be there. But I'll have a drink for you since that's my birthday. So apologize for that. But happy anniversary for that. That's very, very cool. That's only a couple days off of our anniversary. Only it's quite a few years less than that one. All right, guys. Well, what do we say? I think that's going to wrap up tonight's episode. Episode 107 of The Heart of a Villain. It's going to wrap it up. Remember, you can still buy those shirts, patches, pins, all the good stuff at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. Heartofavillain.simplecast.com. That's also where you're going to pick up all previous 106 episodes of this here podcast. Listen to those. They get better as time goes on, I promise you. Just those first few are a little rough. I want to challenge all of you, as I always have, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. Finally, guys, the most important words I say every week. Please remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. So for now, have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Have a great week ahead, guys. Talk to you soon. Take care and stay safe.
start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and